Hi, this is River Lady again. Alright, so my Skil Saw is out of the box, and what I'm going to do now is finish mounting it to my workbench. If you have the Skil Saw mounting bench, it's very easy to mount your Skil Saw, but I don't. I'm just going to mount it to an old wooden workbench. So what I'm going to end up using is four 5/16 flathead screws, lock washer and nut. That's a lock washer, and the nut that goes with it. And what I'm going to first do is I'm going to drill a 5/16 hole into the workbench. Now I've already done 4, so I'm going to show you doing 1. So let's go ahead and drill a hole and then get the screw in there. So you just position your Skil Saw where you want it, and you make sure that it's level, that it's square all the way around, not level. Well, you want it to be level too. And you're just going to drill down. Alright, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the head on my cordless drill. Every woman should have a cordless drill. And we're going to use a 9/16 wrench. We're going to put our bolt in there. I'm going to screw it down. It just goes down easily. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lock washer on first, and then the nut comes on. And we're going to screw that right on there. We can get it flush. There we go. And now I'm going to take my wrench and I'm just going to tighten it. And I've gone ahead and I've done it to all the other bolts. There we go. So our Skil Saw is nice and secure, so it's not going to go anywhere. So now I'm going to show you how to make sure that it's calibrated. The Skil Saw comes from the factory pretty much calibrated for you, making sure everything's level, but things can get out of whack in shipping. So what I first want to do is I'm going to use my utility square. Now you're supposed to have an adjustable square, but I don't. I just have a regular utility square, but we can still do what we need to do using this square. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get the head of the saw up. So I'm going to show you how to do that. To raise the head of your saw, you want to definitely hold on to the handle. You want to press down slightly, and then you're going to pull this back knob out, and the head of the saw raises up. Now, to lock the saw into place, you pull the handle down, pull it all the way, and then you push that knob in, and now it's locked into place. So we want to raise it up, just like this. Alright, so now what I want to show you is how to make sure that your blade is vertically level. Because if it's not, then you're going to end up with some serious complications. You have to do your calibrations first. If you don't, you could end up injuring yourself. Remember, powerful piece of equipment. So the first thing you want to do is raise the guard. Be careful, don't drag your fingers along the blade. And then you're going to take your square and you're just going to lean it against the blade. You can let the guard rest on it. Now, what you're looking for is you're looking to make sure that the square is level against the blade, completely flush, not level, apologize, but completely flush against the blade and completely flush against the stage of your saw. If that is the case, then you have a perfectly vertical, straight blade. If not, then you need to make adjustments based on what the manual tells you. So my blade right now is completely flush. and it's completely straight, and I'm in good shape. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the blade to fence adjustment is square. This is your fence right here. This is where the piece of wood will rest when you're doing your cutting. So I have the blade in the lowered position. I'm going to raise the guard slightly, and I'm going to take my utility square and I'm going to lean it right up against the blade. And what we're showing here is that there is an equal amount of red on the cutting area all along the blade. That's important. If my square was at an angle and there was more red at one side than the other, then I would have to adjust the tightness of the blade. But right now my blade to fence is in good shape, so I don't have to worry about it. If you do have to make an adjustment, the manual explains how to do that. Alright, the last adjustment we need to make sure of is that your bevel stop is at 45. This is how it comes from the factory. I've raised the blade up by pulling that pin as I explained earlier, and I'm just making sure that we're at 45. When you're making straight cuts, you want to make sure that this is at 45. In another video I'll show you how to make angled cuts, but we want to make sure right now that it's at 45, and I think I used make sure like 12,000 times, but just make sure that that's at 45. If it's not, the manual again explains how to make that adjustment. It's very easy, but right now we're just going to see that it is at 45. Alright, so we know how to open the saw, we've made our adjustments, we know that our saw is in good shape, so we'll stop this video here, and I will see you on the next video where we'll actually cut a piece of wood. Ciao!